So right, agree to disagree. We're gonna go to this guy KD. He likes to agree to disagree a lot too, and I love that about him. It's good to have a little, little tension in the room, a little, you know, good conversation, a little, good topics back and forth. KD is that guy. He'll chop it up on Twitter with you, and Kyrie's a different guy too. And they're coming back together. They're gonna run it back in Brooklyn, and we're gonna talk about their championship aspiration. What they gonna do this year? Are they gonna be able to challenge Boston in a real way this year? Are they gonna be able to hang with them Bucks with Chris Middleton back? What you think?
Yeah, this team finished seventh last year in the East. We always talk about the East to the least, but they had a lot of drama going on. They had the Kyrie saga. He only played 29 games. They had the James Harden issues, right? Kyrie's not gonna, do this, that, and the third. I don't want to play here. Give me the Philly. KD was kind of just caught in the middle, like, hey, I came to Brooklyn. We were supposed to do this. We have, all these players. Man, I just want to hoop. Then you had Ben Simmons come in. He's still hurt, still dealing with the mental aspect of the game. I hope he can get his mentals right, because when this guy is right, he can do it. He can do just about everything besides shoot. And I can accept that, right? Yeah. I think with them finally buying in, it's go mode. It's go time. You got the best dribbler in the NBA at this time in Kyrie Irving,
ever,
who calls his skill set an art, and I love it because it is. And he can get to the basket. He can shoot the mid range. He can shoot the three. He can score from anywhere on the court. Offensively, is a really good offensive threat in this league. KD, one of the and besides, he is an NBA champion as well, and Kyrie Irving. KD, one of the best players of our generations, one of the best scorers of all time, the 7-foot assassin that can score from anywhere on the court as well. He's ready to hoop. You see them already hooping during the summer. They're locking in. You bring in a guy that can defend on both sides, that can facilitate like no other. I see him as like Magic Johnson-esque if he takes his game to another level. But he can be. Potentially he can be there. He's 6'11", can dribble the ball like a guard, can defend 1 through 4, right? 1 through 4, maybe 5, depending on the size of the player, because I still think he can't go with Embiid. But
that's only one guy.
Yeah, that is.
Talking about,
but you still got Joker,
most nights Ben Simmons is guarding 1 through 5.
Exactly. So you're talking about an all-star guard / forward that can play both ends of the court, and that is with these two top-notch scorers on this team. My issue with this team is leadership and depth. KD unfortunately has never been a leader in the NBA, because anytime he gets the blame, he deflects or he runs. But it's okay. It's okay, because remember, Russell Westbrook got the blame in OKC. Remember, Steph was still getting the shine in Golden State. It was still Steph's team. Steph still got the glory. Even though KD took them over the edge, KD gave them another step. He saved that team from LeBron. Steph still got all the glory.
Kyrie.
Yeah, Steph still got all the glory, right? They asked KD to come. They wanted KD on that team after beating them 3-1, and then losing to LeBron 3-1 from a 3-1 series.
Stop saying LeBron. LeBron and Kyrie. Let's understand what Kyrie's done. But
I'm just saying.
We gotta just say Kyrie and LeBron because that's a dynamic duo. We really could throw Kevin Love in there, but that's neither here nor there. As far as KD being a leader, there's multiple ways to be a leader. He's not the best leader. He's not the leader that these top 10 guys of all time are. He's not that. So we need to stop talking about that. As far as top 15, top 20, top 7, he's in there. And he's a leader in his own right because he leads by example. He's consistent. That's a way of being a leader. He shows up. That's a way of being a leader. Let's not act like he has to be LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, Kareem, Magic. He doesn't have to be that. He does. Kawhi, he doesn't have to be that to be great. Tim Duncan, you think he always spoke up? No, Greg was there to do that. Steph Curry, you think he always speaks up? No, Steve Kerr or Draymond's there to do that. But we don't poo-poo them for not being the leader that Jordan or Kobe. So we can't do that. He is a leader in his own right. Maybe not the leader we want him to be, but he's a leader. You can't get to multiple championships without being a leader, without being able to check yourself. That's a leadership quality.
I mean, he went to a team that already had a championship, and that has won another championship without him, who already had the leadership on the team to take him to the next step.
There's been teams that join together that already won championships. That doesn't guarantee you're going to win it.
100%.
So he had to do his job in being a leader.
And he was the best player on that team. There's no doubt about it. He was the best player on the team.
But what I'm saying is him being the best player on a team is a form of leadership. How
No, it's
consistent
not.
he plays is
No, it's not.
You're leading by example. You don't have to open your mouth to be a leader. Follow my lead. Get out the way. That's me being a leader, taking us home. That's a leader. That's a leadership quality. Not everyone can do that. So that's why it's like you have to follow someone's lead. Sometimes you have to follow this guy taking us home. ISO ball sometimes. And he's done that. He's proven he can do that too. That's a form of leadership. It's not what we praise, but it is a form of leadership. Leading by example.
There should have been no reason why he wanted to leave get out of Brooklyn after 2 seasons, and after signing a 4-year contract. Him and Kyrie.
I'm not saying he should leave or want to leave, but he should have a gripe with the people that he expressed he had a gripe with. Steve Nash, X's and O's, trash. Adjustments in the game, trash.
You already had Kyrie Irving coming out saying we don't need a coach. We can coach ourselves.
But
And we talked about the importance of the coaching staff and the players. And we both agreed that you kind of need an X's and O's guys because this still is a chess game to help the team, right? And they both didn't even buy into the system. So already they were just it just wasn't it. And he said, "Hey, I want Steve Nash to be the coach." And after 1 season, and
KD did,
having to deal with all of that in his first season as a head coach, you had to deal with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD, the ultimate of superstars.
But you're looking at it from
The ultimate of egos at that as well. You see all the egos in the room.
I'm not going to say Eagles win championships, but most championships are won by ego-driven players, high ego players. And it takes certain coaches to be able to do that. And if he recognized after already winning a championship, winning 2 championships, helping almost win 3 championships, being the reason they lost 1 championship, KD knows potentially what he needs. Because remember, he's the leader on that team right now. He's the number 1 on that team. They look to him. So if he doesn't like the direction of the franchise, if he doesn't like how they're interacting with his co-star, Sean Marks, how you're interacting with Kyrie based off of him not wanting to do certain things during the pandemic and certain things during injustice in the United States, they are on different pages. And because he's a leader, he has a sense of power to flex his power too, just like the owners do, just like the coaches do, just like the GMs that have done since the dawn of the NBA. Now we're in a stage where star players, he's not Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and them boys, but he's star enough to be able to move the meter a little bit. And he's doing that. Kyrie's doing that. Ben Simmons is doing that. James Harden, too, is doing that. It just so happens to be the wrong coach in the midst of that storm. But if it was a better coach in the midst of that storm, if it was a better news anchor in the midst of that storm, maybe there would be a better outcome of that storm. It's still yet to be determined. But Steve Nash, we can question his leadership abilities.
Okay. Yeah. So, I agree. I will agree to disagree. I can't really say agree to disagree because I totally agree. Leadership, leadership in a way can be in different forms, I should say. And KD does lead by example because he loves to hoop. But as far as a rah-rah guy, he's never going to be that guy. But you're right. This is KD's team, but he needs to. He just needs to continue to do what he does. Play ball, right? And I think he will. I think this team will be at least a fifth seed team in the East, behind Boston, behind Milwaukee, behind the Sixers, and there's one other team that I can't get off the top of my head. But at least
The Heat. I know you probably.
the Heat, the Heat,
and they might have a little down year.
They can.
But the Bulls.
The Bulls is a scary team, but I think the Bulls it'll probably be out of the Bulls and the Heat for that. Between 4, 5, and 6, right? It'll be those three teams. And if this team stays healthy, they bring in TJ Warren, who is a 15-point player, when healthy, right? But he has to stay healthy. I think this team needs one more big man, whether it's a JaVale McGee, a Dwight Howard, veterans like that, because I think Dwight is already on the team, and as well as JaVale McGee. But maybe like a Hassan Whiteside, veteran big men that plays defense, because they only got Claxton. They only got Claxton right now, who is a young talent on that team who I think will step up. You still got Seth Curry. You still got Joe Harris, guys that can shoot, right? So this team is capable of winning a championship, but it has to gel. And as long as it can gel and Ben Simmons can get these guys the ball, it's gonna be a scary Brooklyn team.
For sure. You speak on those big men. I definitely agree. In the depth in general, they have a lot of combo guards there, and putting Kyrie on ball, I think is a good idea going forward, as opposed to KD bringing the ball up. Get KD in the post a little bit more. Have Ben Simmons bring the ball up some too. But if Ben Simmons is not in the game, go ahead and stagger the on ball, floor general role to Kyrie and Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons also learn to play a little bit more big ball. I know he's a perimeter lockdown, but I think, like we was alluding to earlier, I think he can guard some of those big men and be able to play real small ball, some Warriors death lineup type thing. So the Hampton Five or whatever they was calling them. So I believe that they can do some things. I believe they'll be like the 5th or 4th seed, right there with you with that. The Bucks and Boston, I believe, would be their biggest matchups. I believe Ben Simmons can really, not saying he can stop Giannis, but he can give Giannis a little problem with his athleticism and contesting him at the rim and just being a pest.
For sure.
Boston, they have gotten more depth, way more depth than Brooklyn has. So
Man,
I definitely agree with
that Boston team is getting scary with their depth.
Sure.
And they know, and I love that Boston team because they know their roles. They play well together.
Right. They were that team, that whole organization. I hate to say it as a Laker fan, but right from top to bottom, they're looking great. Players, staff, ownership, like everything.
For sure.
Looking smooth. The fan base, I'm not too much of a fan of y'all, but we'll move on.